And now, Luca del Monte.
Okay, so thank you. Good morning, everybody. And after having heard a lot of inspiration from cooperation and alliance in space, now I would like to spice up a little bit the discussion about research and development, introducing a healthy but rough competition for challenges. So, solution for challenges historically comes also, inter alia, from prize schemes. And today I would like to discuss and present to you a little bit this tool that is a tool that we intend to spur innovation in Europe. Now, there are mainly two big categories of prizes. Let's say there are the ex ante and the ex post prize. Simple example of an ex post prize is the Nobel Prize, where the sponsor acknowledges the result and provide an hours. But there are also very significant and interesting examples of ex ante prize contests, and one of the most important and probably the first and most and the historical one was born just here in London, is called the Longitude Prize, that was initiated by the British Parliament in the 17th century in order to solve the problem of the determination of the longitude. As you can imagine, at that time was an extremely important problem to be addressed in order to improve the safety of navigation. So there are also notable prizes ex ante, like the Billiard Prize, that is probably less known, but it's very interesting because it was a prize launched to find a replacement for the ivory that was used in the billiard balls up to the 18th century. And actually the result of this prize today is, well, let's say a derivation of this is plastic, as we know. So you can understand the importance of these tools. Let's say the advantages is certainly a stimulus factor where we encourage basic research, we spur the initial development of a new industry, we focus efforts on problems which are almost invisible or considered to be improbable. The resource retrieval and asset retrieval includes, for instance, identifying promising teams of scientists that may provide interesting solutions in the future, or also IPR, intellectual property rights. So the efficiency is the fact that the funds are used in an effective way, and let's say in particular when we think of reducing the risks of public investment, that is a very sensitive item. In general terms, we have also an objective of outreach, in the sense that this prize may be used to raise the general public awareness on a given sector, in particular in space in this case, and the sponsorship of these prizes may benefit from promotional and marketing tools. So this is just an example of prizes that historically have been used in the space domain. We cannot go through all of them, obviously, but just the first, probably one of the most well-known one, is the Ansari Prize, that was launched in 1996 for the first non-institutional vehicle to be able to reach the 100 kilometers that is the conventional altitude at which space is set to start. And this has been awarded to a consortium organized and led by Paul Allen from Microsoft, one of the co-founders of Microsoft, together with Bill Gates, and Bart Rutten, that is the world-famous aeronautical engineer. And so with this prize, that is, I think, was $10 million at that time. Actually, the real expenditure to reach this prize was in the order of magnitude of 100 million. So actually 90 millions were leveraged by the competitors, the winning team indeed, to reach the objective. But the net result is that this has given birth to a new market, especially now we are seeing this developing in the US in terms of space tourism. Another very interesting one is the DARPA prize. Here we have not put this in our slide, but it's also the defense sector that is using this kind of prize in this moment. DARPA is the Defense Agency for Advanced Research Project in the US, and one of the most interesting prizes that is currently ongoing is for the development of robotic capabilities controlled by humans to provide relief in case of crisis operation. Now, these prizes are used extensively in the US. The characterization of the prize is a very difficult exercise because you have to be able to identify the right area where you want to identify and launch your competition, because not all areas, not all domains are suitable for this. They need to have a very important communication and outreach potential, and they have to be suitable also to develop upstream and downstream markets as a consequence. So for us, also an objective would be to mix up the space community with the non-space community, thus adding diversity and increasing the chance for innovation. Now, with these introductions, just to tell you that ESA started reflecting about the possibility of establishing an ESA Grand Challenge. And the rationale for us is that these prizes are powerful tools to develop a new breed of European entrepreneurs in the space domain. Today we have seen some testimony and witness of European startups in this domain, but we see that we are still lagging well behind the US. If you have the opportunity to have a trip in the Silicon Valley, you will understand what I mean. So in this respect, it's a task of the agency, we believe, to help creating the conditions for these new startups to grow and to develop. And we think that prize would be certainly highly leveraged, and incentivized competition would be very useful in developing space entrepreneurship space. ESA is not new at all. In prize and awards, we have already a very long list of prizes that are run and operated by the agency. However, we must say that so far usually they are related to a very limited amounts of the purse, let's say, of the prize, and so we also facing potential issue of geo return, and we think that there is a very limited communication and outreach impact potential in this case. So what we want to do is actually opening up this opportunity by involving non-space partners. Actually, what considering, let's say, taking into account the current financial situation, we are thinking of enlarging the basis, and we think that the ESA prizes funding could come mainly from partnership with private space and non-space industrial sponsors. We have seen before the Audi logo. Actually, this is a very, very interesting example of what may happen in the future. So, and we hope that this will also help the startups attracting further investment from business angels and venture capitals, or from enterprises from other verticals than space. So, just concluding, unfortunately, I'm not today in the position to announce already a new ESA Grand Challenger prize, but what I can do is that I can tell you that our member states are starting reflecting about that. We are now in the process of discussing this with our delegations in the next few weeks to come, actually, and if we are successful in this endeavor, we may be able to announce something already at the upcoming Council at ministerial level. Having said that, I am open to question if it is so the case. Thank you.
Can I take you off the stage now?
Yes. Thank you.